Arsenal rang Pat Dolan this morning and said whatever was required he'd do, and he's joined the squad and he's taken a place on the bench along with Keane Doyle, who's only back from the European Under-18 Championship in Cyprus.
It's interesting enough, just talking to St. Patrick's, something that will play a very important part of this game, I think, to start is the wind. The wind is blowing quite strongly from the Drumcondra end. And listening to the Pats management team, they were debating whether they take it or leave it to the second half. I fancy they'll take it if they win the toss, so let's see what happens here.
The referee is Mikko Burola, who actually refereed in this stadium 3 years ago on an under-16 tournament. He refereed Iceland against the Republic of Ireland, and here he's in charge of St. Patrick's Athletic against Glasgow Celtic for a place in the second qualifying round of the European Champions League. A tie against Croatia Zagreb awaits as St. Patrick's Athletic kick off, and they're playing into that wind, having lost the toss to Glasgow Celtic. And immediately it's off Braithwaite, and here's Paul Lambert. Slip forward to Blinker, and here's Lambert again. And a little look to try and get Jackson going. He's in this team, as Owen was saying, for Stefan Mahe, who broke down in training last night. He's the left wing back, Darren Jackson the forward player. So there's been an adjustment in the Celtic team to accommodate that. Jackie McNamara plays forward for Bratback, but it's straight at Hawkins, and Hawkins tries to deliver it long, but everybody'd come back. The crucial thing is that St. Patrick's Athletic do not concede a goal, because effectively one in the net means two, because the away goal counts double in the event of the scores being level at the end of the match. And if they are level at 0-0, there'll be extra time, no golden goals. And if they're still level after that, it's another penalty shootout. Last time St. Patrick's Athletic played a European Cup tie in this ground, it ended in a 1-1 draw. That was against Dynamo Bucharest back in 1990. First attack for Blinker, and it leads to the first corner of the game to Glasgow Celtic. Reggie Blinker, who began so strongly last Wednesday night against Jeff Clark in the right back position. That's happened then, so happens now. The left-sided corners are taken by Jackie McNamara, the right wing back. Blinker's on the near post. Mackay is up there too in that crowded box. Hung up by McNamara, headed clear by Gilzine. And it's McNamara once more. Back into space by Alan Stubbs. McNamara crowded out by Eddie Gormley. And it's another corner to Celtic. Eddie Gormley, the St. Patrick's Athletic captain, who was so important for them last week. Celtic, of course, with the breeze behind them as they attack that Ballybock end goal. Swung in dangerously. Oh, headed back by Braithwaite, as everyone appeared to have missed it. Wood with the clearance. It's Craig Burley. Larson. Osam went in. Dug out by Lambert. Now Tom Boyd. Paul Lambert. And Burley and Blinker just failed to control it with his first touch. Driven wide by Malloy. And Malloy failed to keep it in play. The throw is to Glasgow Celtic. Burley came off Osam. Morgan got the touch. And then it's Braithwaite with the ball at his feet. Facing him is Lambert. Not a good pass forward. Intercepted by Boyd. Then it's Lambert. Back to Boyd. Swept wide towards Blinker, operating on this right side here, trying to turn inside, but it's rebounded from Malloy. Trevor Wood has it. Thrown early for Eddie Gormley. Challenged by Jackson. Got it back to Malloy. Malloy turning around Blinker. The ball is gone. Throw to Celtic.
Trevor Malloy has done very well there in the opening stages, just covering back, especially at this Blinker was switching wings there, and he was looking like he was going to get through.
Larson dispossessed by Campbell, then it's Gilzine. Larson got back to get it from him, and it's Lambert to Boyd. Blinker back on that left side now. Gormley turning inside Gilzine. Going across the face of Morgan. Now Lambert. St. Patrick's trying to push them wide, but it's forward to Larson. Lambert trying to get on it again, but Osam sets it up for Paul Campbell. Campbell for Gilzine. Gilzine kept the possession well, tried to slip it through to Campbell, but right there is Mackay. Intercepted again though, it's Jeff Clark. Clark against Bratback, then it's Gormley, but it's gone out of play, and it's a throw to Celtic.
See, Paul Campbell can continue as he intercepted something and went down, like, I'm not so sure it's the right thing to do so early in the game.
Jackson back to Alan Stubbs. Stubbs seeking Larson. Against Campbell. Malloy bring it clear. Malloy trying to get past Lambert, and a free kick awarded against Paul Lambert for getting in the way. Lambert knows the glory of European Cups. He won it with Borussia Dortmund, and this is the other end of it all, where the nuts and bolts have to be put in place before a cup-winning run can be begun. First qualifying round, second leg. St. Pat's against Celtic. Gormley looking for Malloy, off the head of McNamara. Malloy trying to get in there. Might break for Gilzine. He's content to let it run out for the throw. Malloy once more, and eventually inviting the challenge too far from Jackie McNamara. Free kick to Pat's.
That's very good play by Trevor Malloy. That's 2 free kicks that he's gained for St. Patrick's just by having the confidence to hold the ball, using his scout, saying to them, hey, come on, try and take it off me. Instead they concede the free kicks. Well done.
Now it's something for Celtic to defend. Paul Campbell and Eddie Gormley. They'll be working on these out at Finn's Townhouse all yesterday. Gormley gets it in, but comes to the line to collect and to send it long for Bratback down the middle. Packy Lynch. Difficult one to deal with. The sun beaming down on Talca Park, and it's Jeff Clark forward for Braithwaite. Back again for Lynch. Delivered long by him. It's Tommy Boyd though. Now for Lambert. Boyd moving forward. Blinker. Boyd goes around the outside. It's for Lambert to move on to. Lambert for Jackson. And then Burley. And now McNamara. Came off Campbell. It's Jackson back for Burley who can hit them. Trevor Wood got himself well behind it. First shot on target, first good save. He can really thump them, Craig Burley.
Well, he had a couple last week and he just didn't get hold, or he did get hold too well. He didn't get them down low enough. But I mean, that's fine for Pats. Keep shooting from that distance.
Boyd. Blinker. And now Burley. Marking Mackay. Stubbs. And Lambert. Picking up from the 2 central defenders. Wonderful atmosphere in Talca Park. Plenty of singing from the vast array of Glasgow Celtic fans who are making their presence felt in the city of Dublin all day. Bratback. Malloy back. Caught by Bratback. Free kick to Pats, but again, it's Trevor Malloy.
Yeah, he's showing a lot of experience for a young lad. Tracked back there well, and you know, the Celtic lad just pushed against him and down he went. Well done, earned a good free kick.
Yes, he's just 21. Of course, he came to prominence in that under-20 team out in Malaysia last year when they finished third in the world. And another member of that team here for Pats, Tommy Morgan, regained his place for this. And another of that team, Colin Hawkins, the centre half. Gormley moving on to this as Gilzine put pressure on Mackay. Now it's Malloy. Good look around to see just where he should go, and then cutting inside McNamara. It's Osam. Osam with a fabulous game in a more defensive role in Glasgow last week. Then Hawkins around Jackson, up the line for Malloy. Campbell trying to get there, come back to Hawkins though. And Hawkins trying to deliver one for Gilzine, but it's cleared by Malky Mackay. And that should go all the way through to Trevor Wood. Natty line in headgear, but it's a worrying 45 minutes he has to go through with the sun shining straight into his face. Gilzine tidied up by Lambert. Now it's Alan Stubbs. Tommy Boyd. Reggie Blinker. Facing in Braithwaite. And Larson. Gormley got in there ahead of Burley. Well, may not have been a thing of beauty, but it was very effective. It ended what was a neat Celtic build-up and pushed them right back into their own half.
There's a lot of movement going on, say, off the ball from the Celtic front. So this concentration is vital.
Stokes. Oh, Blinker's got in behind the defender, but he got in behind him and committed the foul. A free kick to pass. That was a worrying moment, but of course he wouldn't have been in that position if he hadn't committed the foul. Jeff Clark standing in for Willie Burke if Canadian international could be deemed to stand in, and he acquitted himself very well after a shaky start in Parkhead last week at Celtic.
It was early in the game, like when the consequence of wording that high, you could say he was put forward a few times.
Well, he certainly grew into the game and was a very effective component of Pat's team by the end of it. Braithwaite beaten to it. Boyd, another throw to Pats as they try to work out, position up that right touchline. Jeff Clark. Throw for Gilzine. Try to slide it through for Morgan. Morgan got there ahead of Larson. Then it's Lynch looking for Braithwaite, but maybe caught a little bit on the breeze. The ball swirling away. And it's a throw into Celtic. Stubbs now. And Mackay. Stubbs. And Burnley. Looking for Brad back. Malloy challenged him. It's worked free to McNamara. Rebounding from Burnley. Malloy wanted him to run on. And then forced to try and send it forward. It came off Gilzine. McNamara prevents the throw in. He wasn't going to roll it anyway. Now it's Paul Lambert, and room on the left for Tommy Boyd. Blinker hugging the touchline. Boyd looking the other way. Lambert, and then Burley. Burley with another attempt, blocked by Hawkins. And Braithwaite, and then it's Clark away. Well, it's quite obvious that Pats are going to do nothing like throw caution to the wind. They're defending in depth as they did. And this is by Bradback, turning Campbell. Bradback! That was the loss of concentration that we were talking about. And Harold Bradback turned the defence and found the net. 11 minutes gone. And Celtic are in front.
That was a worry, that crossfield ball to Gardner when he gets in behind Paul Campbell here, and then he shapes the shot to hit it on the outside and pulls inside. Very unfortunate.
So Harold Bradback puts Celtic in front. And that means caution has to be thrown to the wind, because only 2 goals will do for Pats if they're to maintain any serious hope of progress. Yes, the away goal means it'll be over in 90 minutes, one way or the other here. And it's 1-0 to Glasgow Celtic, coming after 11 minutes. But so unfortunate after all that had gone before in the 90 minutes they played in Celtic Park last week. It was a really elementary error, getting sucked in and defeated by such a good ball over the top.
It was, but we said it was a little bit of ball watching, and then just too late to react to it when Bradback received it.
Gilzine. Morgan. Now it's Stubbs. And Lambert. Blinker. Osam prevented it going forward, but now it's Lambert. Lambert to face Thomas Morgan. Now it's Burnley. McNamara. McNamara for Jackson. It's Lynch who defends. And Malloy goes up. McNamara tries to turn. And Wood saves.
It's so important at this stage that St. Pat's keep to their game plan. I mean, let the manager, Pat Dolan, sort out whatever's going to sort of half-time, but it's so important that they keep the game plan to their total goal, not lose shape. You can see the second.
Gilzine the winner there, and he's found Braithwaite. Tidied up by Lambert. Burley. Now Boyd. Blinker. Larson. Oh, they all brought a little there, and now it's Eddie Gormley, but he needs some support. And he got it from Osam. Malloy out to the left, and that's for him. Facing Jackie McNamara. Stopped by Jackie McNamara, and now it's Larson. Turning around Gormley, past Campbell, and Larson continuing the run. Campbell got there, but Larson was stuck out the leg. Got the touch. Packy Lynch leaving it for Campbell to clear. Malloy back for Gormley. Gormley up the line, but out of play. Throw into Celtic. Wonderful play by Bradback, but Campbell had been caught out with the ball over the top, and then low through Trevor Wood. He won't be happy with that, the goalkeeper either, but from short range with power in the shot, a difficult one to keep out in any event. Boyd, Larson, Lambert. Now Blinker. Blocked by Braithwaite, Gilzine. Lambert in ahead of Braithwaite. Good clean challenge by Paul Lambert. Blinker. Jackson wanted it to feet, and Wood lets it run for the goal kick.
It's important when Pats do get the chance to break, as happened just a short while ago with Eddie Gormley, that everybody comes up at the same time. There's no point in the back four just staying where they were, because that is no way to sort of get anything back into the game.
Jackson sending it back, in danger as Larson arrives. Campbell puts it up in the air, and it's Jeff Clark to knock it away for the throw-in, prevented the corner. Blinker, Bradback, Paul Lambert, and Lambert for McNamara. For Lambert again. Burley. Tommy Boy, Craig Burley again. Lambert, McNamara, and Larson. McNamara closer, he lost Malloy. Lambert has it again, battling with Ozan, lost his footing. Ozan brought down by Larson. And the referee with stern words for Henrik Larsson. Ozan on the worse. And a few words off the ball between Paul Lambert and Packy Lynch. I don't know what that was all about. Ozan caught high by Larsson.
Well, George, I'll tell you what, I can't see how there wasn't a card given for that one.
Very high, and certainly the way the referee reacted, you'd have felt that one was going to be whipped from his pocket, but it wasn't the case. And just that little bit of aggression off the ball. Hawkins goes up against Larson. It's obviously something has gone on between Lynch and Lambert. Here's Morgan. Edge to this tie. Braithwaite goes in. Stubbs wins it. Clark knocks it out off Blinker.
What it was, George, was Packy Lynch was sort of saying to the referee, why not the card? And Lambert was saying, hey, what are you up to? Trying to get our guys carded. But it was a card, it should have been.
Gilzine off for Braithwaite at his pace. Almost took it past Mackay, who appeared to impede him. He finds Tommy Boyd. Stubbs for Larson. Campbell, the player with him. Larson then for Lambert. Stokes. Boyd and Blinker. Bree still rippling in from the Drumcondra end, left to right as we look, favouring Celtic in the first half. Blinker gets the corner.
That little race that we saw between Braithwaite and Mackay, I hope that Liam Braithwaite doesn't get disheartened there that Mackay just picked him for pace, because he's needed this day for St. Pat's. He's got to keep doing that.
Here's some serious defending to do again. Bear in mind that the Freeze can turn it in as McNamara imparts right to left spin on it. Bradback's there. Jackson, Malky Mackay as well. McNamara's corner. And the free kick whistle is sounded, pushing by the Celtic front men. Free kick to St. Patrick's Athletic.
Yeah, the wind is making these corner kicks difficult to deal with. Never mind the quality of the corner kick, but there's a foul given on it. So.
On by Osam, Gilzine, Campbell. Find Gilzine again. Mackay comes down for Osam. Oh, he's given it straight to Larson. Hawkins comes to challenge him, and good defending again. Eye on the ball, good challenge, out for a throw to Celtic.
A tremendous game last week.
Jackson. McNamara. Stokes. The sun no longer such a problem as the clouds have covered it over. Lambert trying to set it up for Jackson. Didn't get hold of it the way he would have wished, Darren Jackson. The goal kick. Gilzine little touch on, now Trevor Molloy. McNamara tracking back with him. Back for Gormley. Cross towards Gilzine. A little too much air on it. Tommy Boyd tracked back by Gilzine. Clears at the expense of a throw.
When that cross has been hoisted by Eddie Gormley, there's only Ian Gilzine just waiting in there. They've got to get other people up in support, because any knockdown there's nobody there except that set of players.
Molloy made a good intelligent run into the corner. That was who the throw was aimed for. Now Jeff Clark going to try and put it into the danger zone. He's found out in the head of Alan Stokes. Hawkins, and it's Morgan against Bradback. He's got it back to Lynch. Forward by Lynch. They kept the offside intact, and now it's Braithwaite. That was Molloy, but too many green and white shirts around. Blinker, and here's a run for Bradback. Campbell coming back, Bradback with a shot. Didn't realise that Larson was available in the middle. Went in his own, and it was no trouble to Trevor Wood.
Yeah, in fact, as a defender here, you want him to hit it from there, not to take him on, because then you've got to tackle inside the box. He did the right thing for St. Pat's there.
Early. Birdie again. McNamara. Jackson. Looking for Larson. Clark policed him effectively, and it's a goal kick.
That was good defence by Clark, and it was a similar crossfield ball to the one that cut out Pats on the other flank, which led to the goal.
the best of goal kicks. Bradback got up to win it, and Hawkins against Jackson. Burley caught by Malloy, but the referee says nothing there. And it's Stubbs, Tommy Boyd, and Lynch got there ahead of Larson. Then it's Blinker, Lambert, Boyd, Jackson on for Burley. McNamara makes ground here. Back for Burley, and Osam got himself in the way, and it's rebounded from him for a corner to Celtic.
Good defence by St. Pat's there. Hard work by Eddie Gormley and that man on the screen there. Paul Ozum getting the block.
Reggie Blinker will take this one. Darren Jackson's gone into the goal line. Bradback, Stubbs, Larson and Mackay are the players for Celtic in the Pats box. Pats have 10 of their men in there. Blinker's corner, one goes up, he's gone down, and it's rebounded from Burley, but his foot was high on Gilzine. It's a free kick to St. Patrick's Athletic.
Paul Ozum clears this well. You see this corner kick coming up, but Paul Ozum gets a vital header to it.
The 5 minutes of the first half gone, and St. Patrick's Athletic goal down. Harold Bradback after 11 minutes. Burley, and then it's Lynch. Roy will chase, but it'll be a chase in vain. Throw to Celtic. Boyd. Blinker. And Burley. Burley for Jackson. Jackson past Lynch, brought down by Lynch. Advantage is played. And Pats get it back. And it's Morgan. Gormley has a little look, see who's where, and then hits it forward. Boos from the crowd, the Celtic support. The fact that advantage was played, and in precious little time it evaporated. Gilzine trying to head one on from Malloy, and it's back with Jonathan Gould.
Ian Gilzine has got to be trying to hold those balls that are playing into. No use flicking them on. There's nobody there to flick on to.
Burley. Tommy Boyd pushes on. Burley again. Jackson. Jackson tries the shot, but the red shirts were back. It had gone out. It's a throw. Burley. Lambert. Now Craig Burley again. Back it goes to Stubbs. Boyd. Osam again doing the right thing, and Jeff Clark rather harshly, I felt, penalised for the handball there. Osam dived in to deflect it away with his head, but the net result is it popped up on Jeff Clark, and the free kick's been awarded for handball. Larson to curl it. Mackay goes up. Osam, his physical presence was sufficient. Now it's Reggie Blinker. Stubbs. McNamara. Looking for Bradback. Clark bounced into him. And the goal kick is the outcome.
The referee gives a good decision here, because actually Bradback is pushing into Clark. And then he goes over. Good referee.
Finnish officials here. Senior linesman actually did 6 matches in USA 94. This man's been on the FIFA list for some 3 years, so plenty of experience. Osam held off by Jackson. Now Burley. Around the outside goes McNamara. Facing him, Eddie Gormley. Malloy comes close, it's back to Burley, over the top again for McNamara, who stayed onside. McNamara trying to turn Gormley, Gormley going down, still it's McNamara. Made life awkward for himself and forced back to the touchline by full count. And then back to Burley. Headed clear by Hawkins. It's come out to Tommy Boyd. A good first-time shot. Good shot by the left back. Hit the target. Maybe not the power in it. The couple would.
Just the indication there when that cross came in, the St. Pat's line was just deeper than it has been. I hope they're not going to defend that deep because that can be disastrous.
Lambert. Mackay. McNamara. And Burley. Jackson back towards Burley. And he's past Campbell. And they've met in the middle, Celtic. But good tackle by Eddie Gormley. And a corner to Celtic. Blinker makes slow progress to take it. Again, plenty of height from Celtic in the box. Mackay, the centre forward, just beside Jackson. And here's the corner from Blinker. Wood is there to punch it clear. Larson goes up, doesn't make contact. Shot then from McNamara, and it's over the top and wide.
It's an awful shame about that goal, George, because St. Pat's, or should I say, Celtic are not really causing St. Pat's any great deal of problems. They're not creating an awful lot. Any shots from outside the box, they're not even catching them right. It's a shame about the goal.
Well, they need two. Hawkins came in, but the priority has been defence and not to go any further behind. Gormley tracked McNamara's run. The ball goes out and it's a throw to Celtic. Half an hour gone. 1-0 to the Scottish champions. Stubbs, Tommy Boyd. Straight at Osam, but Jackson was sharp, and now it's Burley, but he couldn't control it, and it's Gilzee. Gormley. Asking Thomas Morgan to run onto it, which he does. It's Morgan against Lambert. Lambert's attention meant McNamara could win it. Then Osam gets it back for Pats. Now it's Hawkins and Gormley. First time up the line. And here's Malloy. Mackay goes with him. Malloy holding off Mackay and winning the free kick. A little tap on the ankles. Quickly taken by Campbell from Malloy into the corner. And men in the middle this time. Malloy back for Campbell. Rebounded from Mackay. Malloy went down. It seemed to suggest that he'd been knocked over. Throw to Pats. Campbell from Malloy. Trying to turn McNamara. Cut out by Mackay. Lambert.
Pity St. Pat's didn't get that one over because Colin Hawkins had gone forward and he was waiting in the middle.
Burley. Larson's gone through the middle. Here's Larson. Well saved by Wood. That was a great save by the goalkeeper. Larson found the way through the middle.
Yeah, it's a long ball by Burley, and just see Larson here, he just gets the break on the ball, but Trevor Wood does excellent. Although, you know, you got to say that Larson might have put it either side of him. But credit the goalkeeper.
And a corner to Celtic there, 6 of the first half. Reggie Blinker. Swung in near post, headed clear by Hawkins. Burley then. It's come free to Blinker once more. Curled in, Larson with the header on it. Behind for a goal kick.
I think St. Pat's would be liking to push up just that little bit, maybe just nearer to the edge of their box instead of staying in there around the penalty spot. See when this cross comes in, they're winning it, but any little missed header, like when he gets a half header and it's too close to go.
Sam challenging Jackson, then Lambert beating Morgan. Now it's Burley. Larson Larson. Number 2 in from Celtic. Thornley. Put out of play. McNamara for Stubbs. Boyd. Early. And Larson's through the middle again. He's onside. Oh, wonderful defending by Paddy Lynch. Second time in a matter of moments that Henrik Larsson has got through the middle, but Lynch was so swift. And there's Lynch again. Hawkins. Gilzean a little flick on. And Malloy against McNamara, and it looked like Malloy was pulled back. And indeed, that's the decision. Malky Mackay challenged him as he tried to break free, and Pats had the free kick. Malky Mackay is going to be booked for this.
Yeah, see, he pushes him. Yeah, it's a well-merited one. Just before that, but St. Pat's did get off the hook because Larson had just run off Paul Campbell, who played him offside, but he wasn't, and Paddy Lynch had to retrieve him. A very dangerous situation.
Booking and the free kick that merited it, given Pats a good position, a little too far for a shot from Eddie Gormley, I'd have thought, but who knows? Just where the wall is. Here is Gormley. It's a little chip from him. Osama at the back, Gilzean too. Across the face of that goal, Malloy tries the turn, and goal goes down to say. Best that Pats have managed. One then by Clark. Braithwaite the little flick on. Now it's Lambert. And how a goal to equalise this just before half-time. And fairly set up the second half. A moment of encouragement for Pats there, both in forcing the free kick and in the confusion they caused in front of the Celtic goal. Campbell for Malloy. Campbell, Osam, Malloy goes on the run. It's Morgan he's picked out, tried to leave it there for Malloy. Some intelligent little runs by Morgan, clever angles he's using, and made himself available well there. Burley back to Stubbs. Here's Stubbs again. Looking for Blinker. Take on Clark. Clark getting there first and forcing it out off Blinker. Throw is to St. Patrick's Athletic. Stubbs against Braithwaite, then Gilzean forcing it forward. Now Mackay all the way through to Trevor Wood.
Just a point about St. Patrick's attacks to date. Nearly all of them have been built up down the left-hand side, and while it's been good up to a point, I mean, I think they could actually bring it out and try and switch and try and isolate Braithwaite the far side with Boyd.
Celtic have this throw. Jackie McNamara. Larson back to McNamara. Mackay. Stubbs. Lambert. Boyd. Blinker. Boyd again. Burley. Jackson. McNamara makes ground. Cue thrown to the back post. Boyd couldn't get up. Now it's Braithwaite. And it's out. Throw once more to Celtic. Under 7 minutes to half time. Nice play by Blinker. Past Malloy. Now it's brought back. Clark got it away. Lambert. Boyd. And now Burley. Lambert. And Craig Burley once more. McNamara facing him, Eddie Gormley. Still McNamara. Larson, but Osam got the touch. And Osam forcing him back. But Larson doing well to keep control. And then it's off Eddie Gormley, and it's a throw to Celtic. Corner rather to Celtic.
Osam is doing some excellent work at St. Patrick's in the middle of midfield there.
And a slow trot from Blinker into the corner. And the usual suspects in green and white are in front of the goal. Corner taken by Blinker. Wood comes, but Hawkins took command. Now it's Burley. And past Gilzine, still Burley. And past Morgan. And Jackson. The drop back goes up. Clark got the header, then it's Osam against Alan Stubbs. Stubbs cross. And Campbell advised to take no chances. Pats have another corner to defend. Now Bradback, the goal scorer, on the goal line.
Not an awful lot of invention from Celtic there. And when it's so curly, you think they'd be trying to work it wide to get in around the back.
Corner taken short this time. Blinker and Morgan. I beg your pardon, Malloy. Back it comes over to Burley. It's Breakwell who heads away. Trevor Malloy, a slighter figure than Blinker, but he shoulder charged him out of the way. But Celtic have the possession once more, and from Lambert it goes to Jackson. McNamara and Bradback. Shot from Burley, a deflection, and another corner. Makes 9 in this first half for Celtic. With just the one goal, and we're in the final 5 minutes of the half.
That's what I mean when I say when Burley's taking a shot from that distance, you're going to say, well, hey, come on, try and work it, and try and drive for the byline instead of taking, you say, hopeful shots from that distance.
Jackie McNamara. Wood comes, gets the fist on it, it's come to Stubbs. Deflected away by Osam for another corner.
Trevor Wood is in a bit of trouble coming up from this corner kick. I think he takes a knock in there. That's the way he falls.
Deflected off Osam to the corner. But the goalkeeper in some distress, and for the first time this evening attention required from the touchline.
Celtic team seem to be taking it a bit easy on this. Okay, they have the one goal, but I think St. Pat's are certainly in this game. Although there was a half chance, you might say, from the set piece there. Eddie Gormley found Gilzine at the far post. He was given a free header. I think Gilzine is such an important part to play if Pats are to get back in this game, because he is their only out. And again, he can say, anything that's coming into him, he's got to hold it and bring the team into it. Let them get up and play off him. That's not happening. He could say that he's not getting the service, but he's got to keep showing for it and stay up.
Still attention for Trevor Wood. Maybe he turned on his ankle as he came down there. It was such a game in Celtic Park last week, and then 7 days on he's made a couple of good saves here too, but he's been beaten out once by Bradback. Here comes the corner from McNamara. Wood again in trouble! Somehow it misses the Celtic heads and ends up with Braithwaite. Packy Lynch. Now it's Lambert. Back to Boyd, who'd stayed back. Stubbs. Burley. Lambert. Blinker. Cross towards Bradback, headed clear by Lynch. Back in again by McNamara, and Campbell pushed out of it by Larson. Free kick to St. Patrick's Athletic. And Clark moves swiftly and smartly up the right. Braithwaite makes the run. And he slipped. Moreland was pushed over by Stubbs. Burley, right back. Jackson. Larson runs wide. Campbell has to face him. Gormley cracks back to fill in behind. McNamara. Larson. Go back for Lambert. McNamara. It's Mackay and Boyd. Boyd got in there. Tommy Boyd slides into the tackle, gets it back to Stubbs. And Stubbs, the angled ball, met by the forward of Campbell. Then it's Osam. Burley charging through. And Osam stepping past Paul Lambert and rolling it for Gormley. Campbell. And Morgan. Braithwaite moving forward. Malloy's in the middle of the attack. Morgan, Braithwaite and Clark. Past Blinker. And Blinker fouled him and then pushed him over for good measure. It's a stoppage time at the end of the first half. Matthew Lynch takes the free kick. It's Eddie Gormley. Sam's in the box. Gormley's gone for the big one. Headed clear by Stubbs. Then it's Larson down for Jackson and Lambert. And Blinker on the break. Picking out Bratback. Back for Jackson. Burley runs ahead. Jackson seeks Larson. Here's Larson! Too high. Classic counter-attack.
Yeah, it's a good cross-speed ball there, and of course he doesn't get over it. It's a good chance.
That is the last kick of the half from goalkeeper Trevor Wood, who's been beaten at once. Early disappointment for St. Patrick's Athletic as they conceded that goal to Harold Bratback after only 11 minutes of the game, and that away goal scored by Celtic striker means it'll all be decided in 90 minutes here at Talca Park, and Pats have a lot to do in the second half. Half-time, Pats 0, Celtic 1, and it's football all the way tonight on Network 2. But right after this, the highlights of that night in Cyprus. Stay with us. Welcome back to Talca Park. The second half has just begun, and St. Patrick's Athletic have made two changes, and it's Keith Doyle, who's fresh from his European Championship victory in Cyprus. That's he on the ball now, has come on at left back for Paul Campbell, and also on is Martin Riley to add some width to the attack. Forward goes Trevor Malloy. Forward two goes Eddie Gormley. And behind the ball goes for a goal kick to Celtic. Just to complete the picture of the substitutions, Thomas Morgan and Paul Campbell have gone, and Martin Russell and Keith Doyle have come on. So the Pats midfield back to the way it was in Glasgow, and Keith Doyle resumes, and the whistle sounds to allow attention to come on for Ian Gilsey. Martin Russell in the St. Patrick's Athletic midfield now for the second half, in place of Thomas Morgan, and Keith Doyle back at left back for Paul Campbell.
It was always going to be a problem decision whether to bring Keith Doyle in from the start of this game. Paul Campbell hadn't done so well across in Glasgow, and of course Keith Doyle being part of the fabulous win out in Cyprus. So you know, it was obviously Pat Dolan decided that he'd start with Paul Campbell, but and of course Martin Russell coming in. I think his experience would be very important if St. Pat's can get back into this game in place of the very young, enthusiastic Thomas Morgan.
Two half-time changes. Pat Dolan assessed the requirements for the second half of this game. Gilzine is all right again. Hawkins won that, and now here's Lambert, Burley and Boyd. Remember, there's just the one goal, though two will be required to save the tie, because the away goal Celtic had would be vital in the event of the score being level. Back. Winker, handball, the referee missed. Larson, tackle was by Osam, the ball's gone out. Throw into St. Patrick's Athletic, and a very different position weather-wise for the second half of this game. Floodlights on, the clouds overhead, maybe even a drop of rain after the bright sunshine of the first half. Burley. Right back. Challenge was by Doyle. Free kick. For Celtic.
Keith Doyle just, you know, he had no chance of winning the ball. He just pushed into the Celtic box back.
So now it's McNamara to take the free kick. And there are 6 wearing green and white in the penalty area as it's floated in, but in the way it was Doyle. Burley back to McNamara, and now it's Lambert. Lambert on for Blinker. Inside Clark, putting inside Gilzine. Through Blinker. And it's rebounded to Lambert. And Lambert delivered again in the middle, and out came Osam to head it clear. Going to Celtic.
Paul Osam is, you know, last week he got in that position loads of times too, putting out very dangerous crosses.
Burley. McNamara. And Mackay had stayed forward. It's gone behind for the goal kick to St. Patrick's Athletic. Here's Doyle. Couldn't find Roy. Throwing to Celtic. A wonderful fortnight he had out in Cyprus. Now resuming his position left back for St. Patrick's Athletic. Osam. Back for Lynch. Seeking Braithwaite.
Liam Braithwaite has been disappointing in this game so far. I mean, you know, when the player's been built up, he's going inside. It's finding it very hard to be found with the ball. He's got to make himself available.
The rain certainly teeming down at Celtic Park now. 2 seasons in one evening at least. And Russell, caught by Lambert. On by Burley for McNamara. Glaswegian night we enjoyed last week. Burley. Larson. Boyd. Blinker out of Clark. Throw in to Celtic. Larson. Back for Boyd. Didn't quite get the angles right, the Celtic captain.
He was never set right for that shot. It was the only place he was going. He set himself up for it.
Larson. Clark. Spin to Lambert. Picked out Burley. Facing Osam. Probably challenged. Then Jackson came in. Russell wins it back. Malloy. Gilzine and Braithwaite. Malloy goes through the middle. Braithwaite to take on Tommy Boyd. Check back for Russell. Did well to retrieve that. Hawkins. He just lost his footing. The rain quite heavy now. Still a breeze blowing towards the Celtic goal, but underfoot conditions becoming quite treacherous. Osam, and then Doyle dispossessed Larson, and Osam strides forward. Brought down by Larson, and not the first foul he's committed this evening.
Yeah, here we see Polas. I'm trying to be very positive here going forward, and Larson comes in from behind. I mean, you wonder in the World Cup what would happen with that one.
Well, he had that early tackle on Campbell, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, that was a yellow card. And what was that one there?
Doyle with a cross towards Gilzine, laid back, nobody quite there. Hawkins is up, sprayed back for Clark. Gilzine wants it hung up in the air. Clark has a look, tries to measure the cross. Gould comes, claws it away, and it's cleared by McNamara, but it's come straight to Ozan. Eddie Gormley, red shirt pushed forward. Gormley tries to hoist it, missed kick by Mackay. Braithwaite chases, Blinker comes back, tidies up to Boyd. Lambert and Boyd again. Lambert. Then it's Blinker. Lambert. Played inside Packy Lynch, but Lynch alive to the danger. Wasn't going to let Brackback get it. Celtic get their first corner of the second half after 10 in the first.
Very good defensive position from Packy Lynch here. This long ball here. He's always in command. He's first to it, and he just plays it safe as he always does.
McNamara will take. Back from Blinker, McNamara once more, and it's Packy Lynch with a header away. And Gilzine wins the throw off the shins of Henrik Larsson.
The point about St. Patrick's play, I mean, any of the crosses that they have got into the Celtic 20 area, Celtic have looked pretty shaky. One of the first half from the free kick, and a few they've done already here. If they could get a few more crosses in there.
Hawkins delivered long and over the top. Mackay defended, just got the touch on it, and it's rolled for the throw. And all of that from a simple ball out of defence by Colin Hawkins. Keith Doyle comes forward to take the throw. Gormley. And Doyle in a position to cross it. And Braithwaite goes up, but it was just too high for him. And Lambert brings it away. Blinker. Right back, Burley. McNamara. Lambert. Played one through for Larsson. Defended by Colin Hawkins. Now here's Braithwaite. Trying to run it past Tommy Boyd, and it came off Braithwaite's shins and out. Right back, dispossessed by Osam. That's tidied up by Burley, and now it's Stubbs. Mackay, Lambert, Larson, Blinker, Clark. Blinker played in behind the front man. It's Burley now. Larson, oh, very, very tight. Martin Russell is back. And Clark, that was well played. And so too was that. Jeff Clark. Gilzine trying to pull away from Stubbs. But it's Burley now. St Patrick's a little unhinged. Good challenge by Hawkins. Larson. Here comes Jackson. Jackson with a shot. Well saved by Wood. Well, he didn't actually get a touch on it. He thinks he did. The referee says no, it's a goal kick.
It certainly looked like it was a save here, but it was a good build-up by. It's played crossfield here for Jackson, and he curls it with the inside of his foot there. Yeah, it's a good save. It looked like it might have been drifting wide of the post, but Wood did well.
But you could tell by the expression in his face he couldn't believe it when the referee said goal kick. Back again it goes by Jackson. And it's Doyle. Oh, it's come straight to Larson. And Hawkins in the way there. And Hawkins for Gormley. Osam. Doyle. Roy made the run, but that was cut out by Mackay. McNamara. Jackson. McNamara. And one back by Russell. And now Gilzine. Braithwaite again just getting himself in the wrong position. Trying to chase down Tommy Boyd. Now it's Blinker. And Paul Lambert. Jackson. Normally sliding in to win it. And it's Malloy. But you can tell the conditions are precious underfoot. But Malloy did very well there. And a beautiful skip past McNamara. Burley comes to close him. Malloy then back for Doyle. That was good play. Walks it up the line. And Doyle chips it forward for him, but Burley read it. And now it's Jackson. Gormley almost there. Gormley eventually there. And Burley trying to let it run out of play, and Malloy wouldn't let him, but gives away the free kick.
Trevor Malloy, he's having an excellent game. He's been very positive. Everything he does, he's trying to be constructive, working very hard.
Been awarded for that tackle by Eddie Gormley on Darren Jackson. Gormley a little over-vigorous. There's a free kick to Glasgow Celtic. It's Lambert who's standing over the ball. The ball has to come back a little further. Now that it has, maybe a movement from Celtic in the box. Lambert for Larson and back for Burley to thump it. It's on the post and cleared away by Hawkins. Such a close call. Pat's completely confused and the post came to their rescue. Larson setting it back. Burley thumped it and it was Stubbs who very nearly got it in, but the post saved St Patrick's Athletic.
And then Colin Hawkins tidied up.
So corner to Celtic. Very good defending once more by Colin Hawkins. Then Osam gets it away. Burley back for McNamara. Osam goes up to defend once more. Gilzine helps it on. Then it's Tommy Boyd. And the offside flag goes up for the first time tonight.
It's nice to see that. I mean, the St. Pat's are retaining their concentration and discipline. You know, when they needed to push up there, they did it. They had the offside. I think Pat Dolan will be kind of emphasising that they've got to try and get it wide to Leon Braithwaite. I mean, he's not contributing as much as he should be in this game.
Blinker, Lambert. McNamara. Back then for Mackay. Jeff Clark in attendance. Clark makes the tackle. Blinker pulls him down, and it's a free kick to Pats. And a yellow card for Reggie Blinker. For the foul on Jeff Clark, who did exceptionally well there, making the tackle, and then was almost up and away when Blinker pulled him back. Free kick to St. Patrick's Athletic.
It's a bit silly of Blinker to do that, and you think, you know, what's at stake if he was to, you know, miss out on a European Cup game.
The header in, Hawkins just couldn't direct it onto the goal. They claim a corner.
I think this could be a corner kick.
Maybe evens out the one at the other end that Trevor Wood saved.
Here we are, Eddie Gormley swinging it over, and we see Colin Hawkins. It's up there, and I think it came off is it Stubbs.
Hawkins again. And Malloy. McNamara chases back. And it's brought back. McNamara. And Sam with the sense. And that's for Malloy in the corner, but he is offside.
Getting back to that point, I mean, Celtic do not look happy at all on crosses. Anything that's come in with any height at all, they've looked very vulnerable.
Throw in now to St. Patrick's Athletic. They've enjoyed some good spells in this second half, and I think it's a fair point to make that Celtic looks some way from being the finished article. Gilzine, Malloy, holding off McNamara, getting a free kick, and then suggesting that McNamara headbutted him, and Eddie Gormley saying, none of that please, get up on your feet. It was well played by the Pats captain.
It was Eddie Gormley there, showing his experience and doing the right thing, saying to Trevor Malloy, come on, you're having a great game, don't do silly things.
Russell's free kick, headed clear by Alan Stubbs, and that is St. Patrick's Athletic's first corner of the match. Perhaps Trevor Malloy was watching a little too much of the World Cup. Here he is to take the corner. Let's see something positive from him now. Towards Gilzine, it's won by Stubbs, and it's Lambert, but it'll go back from Russell. Gould comes out to claim it. Celtic push on, and Gould sends it long. Well, Malloy against McNamara. The ball out of play, and Pats at the throw. Doyle again. Malloy, nice turn. Burley trying to push him off the ball, but Malloy was doing the pulling. Now it stops. Into the corner. Back to the cross, which wasn't a good one, and Osam cuts it out. Jackson closing on him. Osam, Aki Lynch. Boyd got in the way. Now it's Lambert. 20 minutes of the second half gone. Lambert forward for Larson. Good little return ball for Blinker, and then it's Jackson and Blinker again. And Tommy Boyd. Boyd straight into the grateful arms of Trevor Wood. Doyle. Over the top from Malloy, who pulled away from his marker, but there's no one in the middle. And Alan Stubbs is there for Celtic. Stubbs gets the goal kick.
He is causing them problems, Trevor Malloy. He's buzzing about all the time. He's like an itch that they can't scratch. You know, they can't scratch. Maybe he turn into a nice boil, George.
Well, he's 25 minutes to do it. Great weights. He did well there. Turned back into what appeared like trouble. Past Blinker. And then winning the throw off Lambert. The throw for Gilzean, who got a bit of space. Back for Martin Russell. And then for Jeff Clark. Past Blinker. And Clark trying to get the cross in. Well defended by Stubbs. And cleared by Stubbs. Lynch again positioning perfect, but the clearance goes straight to Jackson. In behind Bratback. Bratback turning on Doyle. And Doyle fouls him. Free kick to Celtic. Doesn't look like a man who didn't get much sleep on Sunday night, does he?
Well, you were out there, George, you tell us.
I can tell you none of them did, and they were jet skiing at 7 o'clock in the morning, and why wouldn't they? But that wasn't a tackle of which you'd be most proud. No, that's the contact there that earned the free kick against Keith Doyle. 14 is Lambert and 6 is Stubbs. Henrik Larsson is in the lead. Right back a little further forward. Larsson with a chip over the top from Lambert, and then Jackson has deflected past the post for a corner.
Yeah, this is a well-worked free kick, but it's Patrick Lynch, just deflects off Patrick Lynch there. That's a bit fortunate there.
Well, here's Celtic's first substitution, and just as he did in the match in Celtic Park, so Simon Donnelly comes on, and this time he replaces Darren Jackson at the midpoint in the second half. Gilzean heading clear, and then a shot driven in by Donnelly, kick on by Mackay, clearance by Lynch. Taking it quickly, Braithwaite is offside.
That was a well-intentioned and an excellent play by Trevor Malloy. He's taking a bit of stick from the crowd here for the earlier thing, the supposed headbutt. It was excellent play by him.
Donnelly. Mackay and Boyd. Braithwaite. Hawkins defending. Go with the Celtic. Larsson back to Boyd. He returns the compliment, and still it's Larsson. He's come back to Lambert and helped on to McNamara. Return from Donnelly. Doyle challenges McNamara, and it's a goal kick.
I fancy St. Pat's might be tempted to bring on Martin Riley pretty soon, because you know they have to score 2 goals, and there comes a time where you got to say, well, now it's time to have a real go. Let's see.
One substitution left to be made, having made those 2 switches at half-time. One of them there, Martin Riley. Martin Russell, rather. Freudian slip. Recent mention of Martin Riley's possible introduction causing that. Free kick taken by Russell. Behind by Burley. Corner to Pats.
Again, they look very uncomfortable when Martin Russell whips this one in. I see Terry Burley just a suggestion of a push before he got his head to it.
And the corner to come from Malloy. And there towards Hawkins. Also up went Gilzine. It's broken free to Boyd. Played long to where only Lynch is. And Lynch can have another go. And Gilzine will chase, but cut out by Stubbs. And now it's Blinker. Seeking Larson on the run. Woods out of his goal. Larson's passed in. Number 2. Pat's committed. A lovely ball by Blinker. And Larson, as he's so capable of doing, deceiving those defenders who were there. Wood committed. And a good finish from a tight angle, and it's 2-0 Celtic.
Got to say that maybe Trevor Wood, just when the ball is played there, Trevor Wood, he's a little bit late in coming and just give Larson just that extra second just to nip it around him.
Precision finish from the Swede. And Celtic's Scandinavian strike force makes it 2-0.
For all the build-up play that Celtic have, it's been 2 long balls that have cut Pats out.
Gilzine. Now Burley. Gormley. Malloy takes on Marty Mackay. Is out for the goal kick.
It's a shame about that second one, because I think Martin Riley might be coming in now, and I would have liked it just to be at 1.
Yeah, there's Martin Riley, ready to come on as he did last week as well. Replaced Trevor Malloy last week. Sam got there. Malloy for Bromley. Bromley away from McNamara and Russell. Cross from Doyle. Too close to the crossbar. Goal kick and a chance for that substitution to be made. Martin Riley will come on for St. Patrick's Athletic. Not yet, it would appear. Gould waits to take the goal kick. The referee will wait until Gilzine goes off. Martin Riley comes on. And for Celtic, Reggie Blinker goes off, having made the second goal. The changes on both sides. And he's replaced by the man of the ball now, Tosh McKinley.
Prior to that substitution, the number 18 board was there, and that would have been Trevor Malloy, but I think Pat Dole has made a right decision.
That's the number 18 that was referred to, and it's Tosh McKinley, the Scottish international left back, who's on for Celtic in place of Reggie Blinker. So a throw to St. Patrick's Athletic. A quarter of an hour to go. Having lived with Celtic in most of the way, they've fallen to 2 sucker punches. 2 errors, 2 goals. I suppose that's what differentiates between the men and the boys at this level. But Celtic, who play pretty football in the midfield, haven't really seen it over the 2 matches go anywhere. Larson has won the free kick. Scored the second goal. Donnelly back for Lambert. Now Stubbs, who's joined the attack. McKinley. And his cross is defended by Clark. Throw-in prevented. Martin Riley. Braithwaite lost his footing. And it's now Malky Mackay. Well, 2-0 to Celtic here, and it would appear Rangers are confirming that they're on their way in Ibrox. It's still 1-0 against Shelbourne. 6-3 on aggregate. And the aggregate score is, as you see at the top of your screen here, after the scoreless draw in Celtic Park last week. 2-0 to Glasgow Celtic, the champions of Scotland. The second leg of this preliminary round tie in the Champions League. Yes, Celtic to get into the big league. Starts in September. We'll have another tie to face after this, assuming they win it. To do it the hard way. Burley dispossessing Lausanne. And Burley plays Larson. And Larson tried to feed it to Donnelly. Doyle got a touch on it and just ran away from Molloy. Celtic Park on tour. Lambert, Larson. Comes brought back. Wood hesitated again, but managed to save with his feet. Then Riley back to Lynch, and it's Riley again. Well, they got away with it there, Pats. Braithwaite back for Lynch. Gormley, Russell, and Keith Doyle. Stubbs with the interception. Russell onto it. No bother in the end to Gould. It's for Kinley. Burley. Nelson. Burley at face. Interception from Hawkins. Molloy holding off Donnelly. Challenged by Lambert. Back with Lynch. Lausanne. Russell. Away from Burley, away from Lambert. And Russell flags up against Trevor Molloy.
Just a word about Trevor Molloy. It looked like he was going to be substituted, but I think he's been absolutely outstanding for St. Patrick's. He's been everywhere. He's been working back in his own penalty area and always programmed. What they have done is actually they pushed in Leon Braithwaite in the centre. Martin Riley's come out wide on the right. Maybe it's academic at this time.
Stubbs delivering it long. Larson in behind Hawkins. Still it's Larson. Straight at Wood. Physical defending by Colin Hawkins. Saved the day. And that's squirted away from Malky Mackay. Jackie McNamara. Mackay. Past Gormley. Donnelly. Oh, he's given... Oh, it appeared he'd given it to Riley, but he wasn't quite fast enough. And the ball had gone out of play. It'll be a throw to St. Patrick's Athletic. 10 minutes to go. And the writing on the wall.
Just a pity about that crossfield ball that Martin Riley just nearly got to. He was playing through if he could have made that.
Celtic. Tolka Park in the closing of the day and the closing of the chapter, it would appear, on St. Patrick's Athletics' hopes of progress in Europe this season. After such a wonderful performance at Celtic Park, and there wasn't too much wrong with this one, but a couple of errors let Celtic in. The first of them coming after only 11 minutes, proving perhaps the more costly, because to go behind at such an early stage in your home tie, making it doubly difficult. Stockton had a great way to making it back for him, so it's a free kick to Celtic.
There's no doubt, George, that St. Pat's out on the National League of Ireland crowd. Played excellent across there, and they've really gone about it the right way here tonight. Okay, not many chances, but it was always going to be difficult.
Lambert. Trying to find Bradback. Brought away by Jeff Clark. Lost sight of it. Boyd. McKinley. McKinley trying to float one in. Hawkins away. It came off Boyd. McKinley will chase onto it again. Lynch challenged him, and it ends in a corner to Celtic. Boyd. Would let his goal to save. Thrown early to Malloy. Doyle. Roy. Two men in the middle here, and one's gone short, Martin Riley. Okay. Singing from them tonight, but there's another tough tie to come before they will know whether or not they're in the league phase of the Champions League. Croatia Zagreb await the winners of this in a fortnight. First leg is presumably now in Celtic Park. Croatia Zagreb with several of the players, including the goalkeeper who helped Croatia to third place in the World Cup. Free kick to Pats. Braithwaite fouled. Free kick taken by Russell. Got back to Malloy. Had to get turned on it, but couldn't quite. But then Gormley comes through. Donnelly recovered, and now it's Burley. And a break on here. Burley's gone for the ball to Bradback. Bradback lost his footing as the ball arrived, and Trevor Wood can take control. 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, Bradback had found Larson, then Larson would have been clean through.
Donnelly. Bradback. For Larson. Headed away by Clark. Now Sam. Keith Doyle. Gilzine. And Malloy makes the run for Gormley's pass. Stubbs has come out of the middle. Malloy taking on Stubbs, losing his footing, and then fouling Alan Stubbs. A free kick to Celtic.
The referee indicated a handball there, but again, I've just got to say credit to Trevor Malloy. He's keeping on having a go, taking on these boys who are earning what? How much more? If that is the criteria, by the way. It's not with Trevor Malloy, I wouldn't say.
No, but if you do consider what Celtic are worth, and indeed what the wage bill at Celtic Park must be, and you compare that with what it's cost to put together St. Patrick's Athletic, they have done an immense job over the 2 legs, and if at the end of it all it's proven a little too much for them, well, they can still hold their heads high, and as the champions of the National League, they've represented it very well indeed. Back again for Donnelly. Back's in the middle. So too is Paul Ozao, who again has had a fine game tonight. Now Russell, Riley. And Russell again with a little touch on it there. Stubbs. Stubbs through Malloy's challenge, then Stubbs again. Boyd. Crowley. Lambert. Boyd. McKinley. Larson. Larson. Pass to Burley, didn't quite come off. Now it's Malloy. McNamara slid in, then Doyle gets the clearance away. To Celtic with 2 minutes to go, and out of play it goes once more, but this time to Pats. Riley holding off Boyd. Keith Doyle. McKinley. Over the head of Lynch, but Hawkins assessed the danger and took over. Clark out off McKinley.
Excellent example of the St. Patrick's defensive partnership of Paddy Lynch and Colin Hawkins. The way one went for it, missed it, the other was there recovering. That's been a constant feature of their play.
Donnelly. Doyle. Right back. Lambert. McKinley couldn't quite get there. And so, well, into the final minute. A goal kick to St. Patrick's Athletic results.
At the top of the game we used the word concentration, and it was actually just that 2 little lapses that were the undoing of St. Patrick's.
He fought in there to get it out wide to McKinley. Bratback makes a run. Here's Bratback. Contact wasn't good. Doyle clears. We move into stoppage time at the end of the match. Roy. Burley moves forward. Up there for Donnelly. Running at Hawkins. Donnelly. And he wins a corner. Incredibly, that's Celtic's 15th corner of the match. It's a 2 for St. Patrick's Athletic. But yet, as you say, Owen, the goals they got were both from a long ball. Here's the 15th corner. Goes all the way through to Donnelly, and goal back from McNamara.
There is no doubt but that St. Patrick's will be another excellent season going on the front of displayed in these 2 games.
Celtic to retain their championship. early days under a new manager?
He's got to learn English first, does he?
Not too bad, Dr. Joe. But I think, saying earlier, there are some way from the finished article, and there'll be stiff tests along the way. Further they go here. Stubbs. McKinley. Larson running in the corner. Throw into Celtic. Taken by McKinley. Clark coming away with it. Braithwaite fouled from behind by Stubbs.
Leon Braithwaite, I think he'd be a bit disappointed with the way this game has gone for him. He's been second to most things here tonight, but it's been very difficult for any front guy, any front player here tonight.
Taken by Paddy Lynch. And it's Lambert and McKinley. Tommy Boyd and Craig Burley. And that is the last action of the game, and handshakes all round, and Glasgow Celtic move forward to meet the Mauritius Zagreb at Celtic Park in a fortnight in the first leg of the second qualifying round for this year's Champions League. Henrik Larsson signs the autograph, having claimed the second goal for Celtic in the 72nd minute. That goal following on Bratbach's first after 11 minutes, and that has put Celtic safely through 2-0 in the night, 2-0 on aggregate. But a brave performance by St. Patrick's Athletic. And perhaps the real difference between the teams, that Celtic and teams like them possess the finishing strength that St. Patrick's Athletic just didn't have.
Well, I mean, that was always going to be the problem. You know, the St. Patrick's played, they really did. They played to their strengths. They didn't go to the Parkhead, or Celtic Park, should I say, to defend. They attacked it when they had the ball, but they didn't have much of the ball, and that's the way it is, because Celtic had the better players, and the same happened here. But they gave their best. That's all you can ask.
So Celtic march on, and another European experience ends for the champions of the National League. And the cheers around the ground are from the Celtic fans for their team, who have another European assignment in a fortnight at Celtic Park against the champions of Croatia. 2 goals, one in each half from 2 long balls, and St. Patrick's Athletic were undone. Final score at Talker Park on the night: St. Patrick's Athletic 0, Celtic 2, which is a 2-0 victory for Celtic on aggregate. Well, Pat Dolan, they're all the plaudits a week ago, and he deserves some more even if his team have gone out. And here to administer save is Peter Collins. How much time have we?
Well, Pat Dolan, I'm sure you're very disappointed with the result, but not too disappointed with the performance.
Yeah, we gave 2 poor goals away, but they had quite a few chances. Tonight they played very, very well, and you can't fault the players for efforts and commitment, but technically, and you know, they were a little bit better than us in some areas. And you know, the mobility they've got in the forward line was causing us a lot of problems the first 20 minutes, and we didn't start the game in the way that we wanted to, and we were always chasing it. But this is what we want in Irish football, nights like tonight. Celtic having to come here and respect us and to work extremely hard to get through. I mean, it's been a wonderful night, the atmosphere, and I think after last week when there was problems in Liverpool, Scottish people, Irish people working together to make sure the football was the winner.
Well, Pat, it was a matter of containment at Celtic Park. What was your approach tonight? What was the plan before the game?
Well, we wanted to start the game a little bit better. It made it very difficult that we didn't. We didn't retain the ball very well. In the second half, I felt that we acquitted ourselves extremely well. I'm delighted with what we've achieved. And we said before this tie He wants to gain the experience. So when we come back, what do we need to defeat teams like this? Let's think about it and let's start. We need the facilities and structures. You can see that there is talent there, but we must do it with our young players. We must produce young players to stay at home in Ireland that have the technical and physical abilities to be top-class players. And if we do that, we're going to have a great future.
Okay, Pat, commiserations tonight, but best of luck during the league season. Thanks very much. We also have Craig Burley here. Craig, congratulations. Through the first preliminary round of the Champions League, was it a little bit tougher than you thought?
First leg was, I think we made it difficult for ourselves. There's no doubt about that. But I think we did the job very well tonight under a little bit of pressure after a 0-0 draw. But I thought we were very professional, went about the job tonight.
Probably a tougher prospect now for the second preliminary round against Croatia Zagreb. How do you think that's going to go for you?
Well, it's obviously going to be a step up, no disrespect to St Pat's, but I think the first game came a little bit too early for us in pre-season, especially after the World Cup. But I think we're progressing every game we play, we're getting fitter, and I think you've seen the way we knocked the ball about tonight. Only a little problem putting the ball in the back of the net, but that hopefully that'll come.
What about the Josef Venglos? How is he settling in now at Celtic Park?
Yeah, he's a very quiet man, and he wants to use his own methods. So I think the boys were just glad that we got a manager in the end after a long wait, and it's been a good couple of weeks training. It's been sharp, and there's obviously been different ideas. So, but I think he's been quite pleased with what he's seen from us lads, apart from the first game at home.
What about the league season coming up? How difficult will it be for Celtic to retain the Premier Division title?
Well, obviously we're there to be knocked down now, so we've got to handle that pressure. But I think we've got a good squad of players. We haven't bought anybody, and I'm sure over the next few weeks we might bring in one or two players. But I think we've got the nucleus of a very good squad, and the team that took us to the Championship last year. So hopefully we'll build on that.
Okay, well, Craig, congratulations tonight, and I'm sure you'll have plenty of support on this side of the water for the rest of your Champions League run. Congratulations. Thanks. Craig Burley there, Glasgow Celtic winning here at Tolka Park by 2-0, and the latest we have from Ibrox, it's Rangers 2 and Shelbourne 0, so Rangers also on the way out of Europe. But certainly the Irish clubs have done themselves proud in European club competition, although they're out at the very early stages. Well, that's just about it from Tolka Park for this evening. A reminder that, of course, we will bring you the Champions League coverage proper when it starts live here on RTE Television. In the meantime, from everybody here at the ground, it's a very good night to you.
Michael Schumacher and Ferrari have some ground to make up on McLaren after the all-action race in Austria last weekend. But the Wunderkind won't lack motivation for the next race, which takes place at the Hockenheim Ring this Sunday. Eddie Irvine will continue his push for a place in the top three, and will there be joy for Jordan with the 198 back on the pace? The German Grand Prix next weekend. Watch it all live on RTE. The tradition of 125 years. Style, elegance, fashion and fun.